All right, you guys, so we kind of got cut off by the program, but we stopped off with the thesis statement right here, and then I moved into the point. So on the point, you're going to have, there's many teachers teach it different ways, but I use the PEEL method, which is P-E-E-L. So you're going to look for the point, the evidence, you're going to explain your evidence, and then you're going to link it back to your thesis statement. That way your essay is organized. It appears that you put a lot of time and effort into it. So this is what I put, and I do want you guys to watch these videos and get some help, and then if you still have questions, you can definitely email me. But don't put exactly what I've put down here because then you will have plagiarized off of your English teacher. So, on my point, it says, on the night that Martin Luther King Jr. passed away, Robert F. Kennedy inspired change in the minds of the American people. Then I'm bringing in my evidence, and the evidence must support my thesis statement. He did this by explaining. So there's my lead in. You can be filled with bitterness and with hatred. We can move in that direction as a nation, or we can make an effort to understand and to comprehend and to replace that violence with an effort to understand compassion and love. So that is it does support my thesis statement because he is inspiring change. Now you need to explain what the evidence means. His words provoke the American people to make a different choice and to choose love instead of hatred and violence. Someone may hear these words, and even though they want to take out their hatred on others, they will instead choose to understand where they are coming from instead, and to put themselves in their shoes, to see the world as they do. So this is where I don't have to put this in, but I did want to teach you guys a little bit about synthesis mindset. And that is where you're going to pull in how another piece of evidence builds on or says the same thing as your last evidence. So before he was shot, Martin Luther King Jr. builds upon the speech from Robert F. Kennedy by sharing his I Have a Dream speech. In this speech, Martin Luther King Jr. Says the same thing as Robert F. Kennedy and states, and then I pulled this from my over here. Says, I have a dream that one day my 4 children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And then since I already did the work here, I am going to pull that in as well. But first I'm going to do the evidence. In this speech, Martin Luther King Jr. says the same thing as Robert F. Kennedy and states, I have a dream that one day my 4 children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And I think he said this was 1963. I'll have to double check that. But that is going to build upon what he is saying. And how does that build upon Robert F. Kennedy? These words inspire change because they cause people to stop and think about how we should love people because of who they are, not because of what color their skin is. These words provoke a change and teach people to love and accept people for who they are. So this builds on what Robert F. Kennedy is saying because he is asking us to stop and think before we choose hatred and violence over compassion. He wants us to choose love and compassion. And just like that, Martin Luther King is asking us to stop and think instead of judging people by their skin color. He wants us to really dig deeper and find out who that person is and to love them for who they are. So as you can see, these two sources do build upon each other. And then you don't have to use the synthesis mindset yet. The synthesis mindset just means you're going to be pulling 2 pieces of evidence from different sources, and you're going to show me how those 2 sources are connected to each other. That is going to be your body paragraph. Yours does not have to be as long as my body paragraph. And then I'm going to use the last part of Peel, which is the L, and I'm going to link it back to my thesis statement. So now I'm going to say, overall, Robert F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. use the power of words to inspire change. And let's see if that actually repeats my thesis statement. Words inspire change because they cause people to stop and think about the choices they're making in their lives. These words inspire change. Overall, use the power of words to inspire change. Use the power of words to inspire change and to cause people to stop and think about their choices. Stop and think about their choices. So then you can say, in conclusion, so for conclusion I use RIP, but I am going to do this in another video, and you're going to restate your thesis statement, you're going to provide a message to your readers, and then you're going to, you're going to give them something that they can do for their own lives, and I will do that in the next video.